All right. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the real reason that you're stuck. Overthinking is keeping you stuck. And if you think too much before you act, you're already losing. Now, most people stay stuck, not because they're lazy, not because they're unqualified, but because they can't stop overthinking. And overthinking is not what you think it is. There really is no such thing as overthinking. As a matter of fact, I think people don't think enough. It's the part where you're using your thinking to think about all the ways that something can go wrong. And the people that are stuck are analyzing every option. They're waiting until they feel ready, whatever that means. That you will never feel ready to do what you're called to do. Moses didn't feel ready to lead the people out of Egypt. And he wrestled with God. I'm studying in a Bible study with Ron Brinson, and we're talking about Exodus and Moses' journey. And it's surprising, alarming to see how much he fought with God over this. And they convince themselves that they need more information. I think everybody falls victim to this right now with social media. I mean, you can't open your social media feed without being bombarded by other opinions, things that you're doing wrong. Stop doing this. This is dead. This is not the thing. This is the thing. And while you're stuck thinking, someone else is already taken action. And here's the kicker. They're winning. They're winning because they're taking action. So let me show you why overthinking is killing your success. I'm going to add this whiteboard to the stage, and we're going to draw two people. So here's the start line, right? Here's the finish line. We'll just fin. Oh, okay. So there's two people here. This is overthinking. That delay though. So overthinker's still at the start. And he's thinking, what if I fail? What if it's not perfect? What if I'm not ready? And all the while he's sitting here at the start line thinking, action taker is already halfway down. You know, action taker is the runner. He's going. He's got a smile on his face. Dude over here is frowning. He's winning. He's making money. He's learning lessons. That's a light bulb. He's getting feedback. Right? And they're already halfway down the track because they're taking action. They may not be doing the right thing. They may not be doing things right, but at least they're moving. So action takers just start. They start messy. They start scared. They start unprepared. They figure it out. They fumble. They mess up. But I mean, think about hiring people or having a service. Like, nothing's perfect. There are people that are moving, and like, think about your last restaurant experience. They messed up something along the way, and you didn't just walk out and say, oh, this is unacceptable. You had grace. You showed them grace. Why wouldn't people show you the same grace when you start something and you mess up, right? When you fall and you miss the mark. You know, I read something from Dahlin this morning. She sent a breakdown of the meaning of sin. And, you know, Hebrew words aren't just spelled, they're built. And I'm going to take a little rabbit hole here because I think this is important to the message. But where is that? I took notes on it. It is right here under reframe. Reframe. Sin. So sin is, yeah, I'm going to do this. We got a little time for it. So sin is not who you are or what you do. It's not an action. It's not something you're doing. It's who you are in relation to God. It's broken relationship. So the Hebrew letter chet and then it's tet. Oh man, this like delay is horrible. And then there's aleph. Well, the Hebrew word for chet is offense or separation. Sin builds a wall between you and God. It's missing the mark. Like, we're missing the mark. It's not about being beyond hope. It's we built a fence that separated us from God. And the tet is the hidden thing. It can start small, but it has the power to grow for good or for harm. So there's this opportunity to repent, basically. So yes, you put up the fence, but there is an opportunity for you to repent and go back to God. And we know aleph is the letter for God, the one. So even when you fall, God is still there. He's in the word sin. He's in there waiting for you, the prodigal son, to turn around and come back to him. So you're not beyond hope. Like, remember the story of the prodigal son. He squandered his father's inheritance. And when he came back, when he finally came back, what happened? His father came running to him, right? And that's an illustration of how God is waiting for us to just turn around, just that 180, to turn around and come back to him. And this is part of the greater framework. And, you know, it's the greater framework, but guys, it came from the Bible. Like, there's nothing that didn't come from the principles in the Bible. So this is reframing. You don't reframe by excusing your sin. You reframe by seeing it as a setup for growth, not the final judgment. And the beautiful part is, at any moment when you, like, the sin is building the wall, and the more you excuse it, the more you go into it and keep doing it, the bigger the wall gets. But the beautiful thing is, there's always that door in the fence, and God's right on the other side. He's just waiting for you. So that was a little sidebar. I had to let you know this in order to make this overthinking make sense. Like, you're overthinking, you're imagining the worst case scenarios, and it's because you know you missed the mark. I know I missed the mark. Do you guys realize, like, it looks like I'm just, you know, hopping on live with you and doing these videos, and there's no anxiety in me at all. And that is not the case. My heart still races. I still have all the same feelings when I get on a stage in front of people. The only difference is I failed, adjusted, and improved while everyone else was still deciding to do the thing. I've failed enough. I've learned enough. I've done enough. I've moved enough. I've acted enough to figure out what not to do. And so I just keep showing up just one more time, because success goes to the people who move first, not the ones who think the longest. Now, that doesn't mean don't prepare, right? I'm not saying don't prepare and just go out there willy-nilly. Have a little plan it loosely, but then take action. Get some feedback. Adjust, right? You're not going to learn until you move. You can't study a sport from a book and learn how to play that sport. You can't study how to ride a bike. You can't study how to start a YouTube channel. There's nothing that you can study that you can comprehend it in your mind and then go act on it perfectly. Because even the people with the 4-year, 8-year degrees, doctorates, psychology degrees, like, it's, yes, pushing forward in the midst of fear and overthinking. Thank you. So when we don't move, there's an opportunity for the enemy to come in. And if he can't get in front of you and stop you, he'll get behind you and push you too fast. But typically, he can get in front of most people and stop them. But once you get in motion, you got to be careful, because he's going to push you really fast and try to convolute and confuse you with a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. And I'm experiencing this right now. Like, it just feels like there's opportunities and ideas left and right. And that will cause overthinking. But I have to be focused on the one thing that I'm trying to do here. And that's speak, that's coach, that's build workshops, that's make these videos and educate the people. I'm here to show up. I got to move my ego out of the way so that I can show up for the people that need me. Because the truth is, people need who we are. There is someone that's watching this that can only hear it from me. Just like if you were to start your thing, there's someone that's going to watch it that only you can help them. So there was a study where two groups of students had to paint. And group one was told to spend a month studying art, perfecting their technique, and planning their masterpiece. Group two was told to paint as many pictures as possible. No overthinking, no perfection, just action. Now, at the end of the month, who do you think painted the best pictures? That's right. It was group two. They didn't think about painting. They actually did it. They learned through their mistakes and they improved in real time, and they had that experience drawing. Unlike me on this whiteboard, I promise I can draw, but that's not the point. The point is I need to illustrate. Hi, Nada. I need to illustrate what it is. I need to just take action. So group one had spent so much time thinking that they barely produced anything. Put it in the comments if you can relate. Like, you're thinking about starting that business. You're thinking about writing that book. You're thinking about starting that podcast. You're thinking about, selling that product that you have. And you're never going to learn if it's even something that the market wants or something that people can use unless you put it out there. And the faster you put it out there, the faster you're going to get feedback that's going to help you to make it better. Now, how cool is that? Okay, so the lesson: action beats perfection every time. That is 8 times a week and twice on Sunday. All right, so back to the whiteboard. So I'm going to draw you the simplest staircase that you'll ever need in your life. And this is the only staircase that you ever need illustrated for you. It's very simple. So the first stage down here is learn. You learn about a thing, right? But learning about a thing isn't knowing how to do the thing. It's not wisdom, right? It's just learning. It's just knowledge. It's just information. It's content, right? We consume a lot of content online, right? And, oh my gosh, this thing is so funny. Okay. So knowledge, learn the knowledge. But until the knowledge is applied, you're not going to learn. Like, you're not going to truly learn. You'll know about a thing, but you won't know how to do the thing or what that thing looks like. And then the next step is to think. Now, what does that even mean? I did a video, and I'll put it in the description afterwards once this is posted, but I did a video on 60 thinking. I asked Myron Golden, when I was in his mastermind, how he thinks about his content. And he said, well, Greg, it's like this. And he put his hand out and he said, I look at a thing, a concept, a subject, and I look at it, and then I turn it around and I look at it from behind, and I flip it upside down, and I just keep turning it, and I ask questions about it. And I keep asking questions, and I ask questions and answer my questions and then question my answers until there's nothing left to question. That's thinking. And what I saw when he did that was a cube. He didn't have a cube, but when he put his hand out and he started flipping it all around, I saw a cube. Cube has 6 sides. So the top is the positive aspect of any fact. The bottom is the negative aspect of any fact. And the 4 sides are the 4 personality types that you have to address when you are teaching anything. Because the fact is, we can teach the way we learn, but not everyone's going to get it, right? So we have to teach and think about all the different people, but how are we going to think about it? Like, we learn the thing. Think about a teacher. They learn the thing. They know just enough about it to think about it the night before. And let's be honest, most of us are really thinking about things the night before or doing something the night before. And then the final step is acting. Just act. And think about an actor, right? They don't get out there and be themselves. They get out there and they act. And we fall in love with movies where actors are pretending to be someone else. But life is a stage. Like, we have to show up as the person we want to become, because we don't get what we want in life. We get who we are. And so if you're not willing to show up and act, just play, have fun. Like, who am I going to act like today? Am I going to be that 7-figure entrepreneur? Am I going to be that author? Am I going to be that coach? That, you know, the employee that wants a raise in my career? Like, who am I showing up as? Most people are stopping at the second step and they're overthinking. They're in anxiety. They're using all that energy that they have to worry about what they don't want to happen. And anxiety and excitement are the exact same energy. It's just what you label it that will either mobilize you or paralyze you. And that's it. It's that simple. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transferred. And if you're stopping at the second step and you're thinking about how horrible this is going to be, what if it doesn't work? What if they don't like me? What if? The only story you need to be telling yourself is this. How awesome is this going to be? Can't spell. How awesome is this going to be when it works? That is supposed to be a question mark. How awesome is this going to be when it works? It's the only thing you should be imagining, because we get what we focus on. What we focus on the most is what we're going to get. So the people that are stopping at the second step, they're gathering information. They're never applying it. They're hesitating and second guessing every move. They tell themselves they'll start soon, but they never do. Can I get an amen? I know you've been there. So the people who win, they don't stop on step 2. They move to step 3. They act. They take the next step. They do it scared and unprepared. They do it messy. They just do it. They just do it. Nike was onto something. So let me tell you how this kept me stuck. I used to be the biggest overthinker, and sometimes it can still plague me because I'm human, right? I miss the mark. I sin, right? I thought I needed more knowledge before I can start. I've consumed thousands of videos, courses, reels. I've invested upwards of 100K into my education on business consulting and content and YouTube strategy and all this stuff. But guess what? I know all this stuff and I still don't apply it. Why? Because I waited till I felt 100% ready. And that doesn't exist. There's no world where you'll ever feel 100% ready. And then I told myself I needed the perfect plan before I took action. Guys, I could just open up my Google Docs and show you how many perfect plans I have that are sitting and rotting on Google server. and that's just recent. That's in the last 2 years. Thanks to ChatGPT, it's gotten worse because now I can ask for a plan and it'll spit it all out. And I don't have to use my God-given brain to do the thing. And guess what never gets done? Just because GPT can spit it out fast doesn't mean I can absorb it and apply it fast. So you're best with your AI, which stands for actual intelligence. Use your actual brain. It actually works when you use it. So that perfect moment, it never came. Meanwhile, people who were less prepared than me, less skilled than me, and less experienced than me were passing me up. Why is that? It's not because they were better. It's just because they started. And I want to look so good when I start. I just want it to be perfect. Like, I've always been this way. I don't want to go through the learning curve. I just want to be able to get there and be a pro, right? But I was a musician for 30 years. I'm still a musician. I still make music for fun. I practiced a lot more when I was passionate about it and I was doing it for the right reasons. And I saw it was changing people and the lyrics and the songs, they were singing them. I couldn't get the song down unless I listened to it. And I let someone along the lines tell me that I was conceited and that all I did was listen to my music. I'm so conceited. Well, guys, the pros, they spend so much more time preparing and practicing and trying the thing in the hidden places where no one can see them so that when they show up and perform, they're actually on point. And the amateurs, they're spending most of their time performing. They're spending most of their time posting content. They're spending most of their time showing up and trying to look the part. And their preparation time is little to none. I've been an amateur for a minute. right? I'll show up and I know exactly what to do to make something work, and I still don't do it because I'm lazy. I know I'm not the only one, though. So the moment I stopped waiting and started moving, my entire life changed. And it's not that it's a one and done, because my life could use a change right now. I'm just going to be honest. We always are growing, and if we're not growing, we're regressing. If we're not progressing, we're regressing. If we're not moving forward, we are coasting, what seems like coasting, but really you're moving backwards. There is no neutral in life, only in the car. So action creates momentum, and momentum creates success. A friend of mine told me an acronym. I'll never forget this, because like, I love frameworks and acronyms, and I just want to pass them on to you, because when they stick, they stick. And this one stuck. So he said, ACT. It's an acronym that will help you to act. ACT. I'll put it on the whiteboard here so you can see it. So ACT. One day, this delay. So action creates. Oh my goodness. Testimonies. Now, another way I've heard this from one of my first coaches was action cures anxiety. And are you noticing the pattern here? Are you seeing the pattern? If I take action, I'm going to create testimonies, and I'm going to cure my anxiety, because the testimonies come from getting the feedback, from people's lives being transformed. But those lives can't be transformed if you don't show up. And that anxiety you're feeling from not taking action because you're overthinking, that can be cured by just taking action. You're not going to know what works and what doesn't until you show up and you do the thing. I don't know if this YouTube channel is going to go anywhere, but I'm not going to know unless I show up, right? So if you don't, I'm going to give you, this is a gem. Like, when I give this to you, your whole life's going to change. And this is statistics. Call this the 48-hour rule. So how many of y'all have, oh my gosh. All right. How many of y'all have gone to a conference or gone to a workshop or gone to some kind of seminar or event or some kind of teaching? And, you know, in school, they teach you to memorize the information so that you can regurgitate it on a test. And then after that, guess what? That information's gone, because you just needed to remember it to pass the test. But in real life, the test, there's no grade. The only grade is the dollar signs. Like, you're passing the test when people are paying you for the value you're creating for them. And if you go to an event and you learn a bunch of stuff, it is proven that the amount of stuff you can retain in the first 24 hours drops to like 70% less in 48 hours. And by 72 hours, you're at like 10%. So you lose 70% of it by day 2, and you're down to 10%. 90% of it is gone unless you act on it. And so studies are showing that if you don't act on an idea within 2 days, your chances of doing it will drop to almost zero. And I know there are courses I've bought, and I've gone through the whole course. I had a copywriting course. My copy sucks sometimes, but I had a course. I looked at the whole thing. I took notes. Asked me if I've ever looked back on those notes and if I've ever practiced anything I learned. There are some things that retain, some things that I already knew. But if you don't act on it within the first 2 days, you're going to lose it. So you have to get on this staircase, learn, think, act. That's the process. That's going to cure your overthinking. Learn, think, act. Be a thought leader. Learn something, think about it, then act on it. What are you going to share with the world based on the thing you just learned and thought about? Right? It's that simple. So action takers move fast. That's the thing I want you to know. Action takers move fast. They don't let fear, doubt, or overthinking stop them. And that's not to say it doesn't happen. They just don't let it stop them. They decide, they execute, and they adjust later. And that's why they get results while everyone else is still thinking about it. Now, I did a mastermind a couple months back, somewhere back in February, March, and it was a 4-week mastermind on rapid results prototyping. And basically, I was taking small, medium business owners, and we were refining their offer. They'd tell us their offer, and we would hear whether that offer was something that made sense, and then we tell them to go out and test it. Go make that offer like 25 people. Actually, it was like 3 people. Just to go make that offer to 3 people, make it an invite. Hey, I'm doing this for this person. Are you interested? And if they were interested, then go and do that thing. One of my clients got $4,500 from a free workshop. It was so cool. And I was like, well, if that could work for her for this much, let me make her an offer. And she took the offer. And the craziest thing, the thing that really messed me up, I'm psychologically unemployable because of this. She told me, I would have bought your $500,000 offer, but I don't have the credit line for it. And at the time, I was only making half of that a year. And I was like, well, someone would pay me to consult them 2 years of my pay. And I'm sitting here for a whole year dealing with all these things just to get half. And then by the time taxes clear, I don't even get near any of that, right? So that's a whole nother story for another day. But the key here is the faster you move, the faster you win. So I want to challenge you. If you're still waiting for the right time, if you are still waiting for the right time, you've already lost time. And time, guys, time is the most important thing we have. The most important thing we have. People think they want more money. They think they want to be millionaires. And the truth is, if I offered you $1 million right now, you would take it. You'd be like, yes, please make me a millionaire. But if I told you that you had to end your life as soon as you took that money, you don't want that money anymore. And what that says to me is that money is way more valuable. Time, is way more valuable than the money. I almost said that backwards. No, money is not more. I can always get more money. I can't get more time. There's a certain number of weeks we have. I can't remember exactly how many it is. There are only a certain number of weeks we have, and we just let these things fly by. And the older we get, the faster they fly by. So the only way to succeed is to take action. Okay. Take action before you feel ready. Do you hear me? Overthinking won't save you. A perfect plan won't save you. Only execution will. And so what's one thing you've been overthinking instead of taking action on? I want you to drop it in the comments. I need y'all to engage. Drop it in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, drop it in the comments. And if you're ready to stop hesitating and start moving, grab a copy of From Waiter to Greater. The life you want is on the other side of action. My book I wrote is How to Level Up from Where You Are. It's the principles that help me on my journey that I've seen in multiple arenas, that no matter where I went, when I applied these principles, they worked. And that's the thing about principles. They're microcosms of each other. That is a physics principle. All principles are microcosms of each other. And what that means is that if I take a principle out of this arena and I put it in another one, it has to work the same. So there's nowhere on planet Earth that I can drop this remote and it'll fly up, right? Gravity works. It's like automation. It's God's automation. Everywhere I go, it's going to work the same. So until the next video, be bold and courageous. Do everything that you do with passion, and I promise you will have a life that you love. Stay blessed by the great test, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for tuning in.